Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga. I bet where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact a If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jacob. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young pay. How you real trigger on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he said something, I ain't hear this shit like it ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the change. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
All right, Salakia. All right. It seems like I was on mute. Let me check that real quick. If y'all can hear my voice, just give me one in the chat. Mute. Let me check that real quick. If y'all can hear my voice, just give me. All right, so Salakia for that, y'all. All right, so I started off, of course, I'm going to go ahead and reintroduce the class. I'm Officer Kahal out of Delaware, and this is the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, and since 1969, we have been defending Black people. We have been bringing out the truth, and we have been, thwarting or destroying the lies of the devil. And we're going to start at John 8:32. Give me 1 second. All right. Salakia, y'all bear with me.
Bluetooth disconnected.
All right, Salakia. It looks like I need to give me 1 second, Salakia. I'm gonna play a quick video.
The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser focused.
America just put out a statement that if you're an American in the Middle East, you need to leave now, ASAP.
If this situation, Epic Fury, was many months in the planning, as Secretary Hegseth says, why no plan to get our people out of the region? As many as 1 million Americans living in the Middle East given no escape window.
I'm the girl that decided to spend her 30th birthday in Dubai. And I'm coming out here very humbly.
All right, I'm back with y'all. So again, let's pull up John 8:32, because one of the things we need to do is we need to know the truth and what it actually means and what it matters. The book of John 8:30, we'll start at 31. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples. Verse 32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So if you don't know the truth, you're not actually free. You can't consider yourself a person that has the opportunity to live the way the Most High wants you to live if you're not actually knowing the truth, because you're not free. All right. And what's one of the truths out there that we should know? We should know that Christ was a Black man. He was an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. We should know what it means to serve the Lord, and not just theology, because a lot of people, they get into theology and they don't really know what the Bible, is really truly talking about. And I want to get into that real quick. Let me break something down, because I see people pulling out verses that tries to give the promises of God to every single person. And Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are in last place in everything. So one thing we shouldn't give away is our heritage, especially once we find out what the truth is. So let me get to Galatians chapter 3:28. And let me read something for you all. And I'll give you all a second to get there as well. All right. So this is the book of Galatians chapter 3 and verse 28. This is a verse that a lot of Christians like to use to say that, Christ came and died for everybody. The book of Galatians chapter 3 and 28. It says, there is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. What they try to say is that when it says there's neither Jew nor Greek, that the Greek means everybody. But if you read that and you see Greek, why doesn't it only mean the people in Greece? Why doesn't it only mean an actual Greek? Does it mean the people that are over in Babylon? Does it mean the people that are in Egypt? Like if we take this out of context, it only means the people that are Greek. Verse 29. And if ye be Christ's, then are ye Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. Now, where's the problem there? The problem there is theology is warping our minds or telling us that when it says, if ye be Christ's, then that would mean anybody that follows Christ. But you can only follow Christ truly as an Israelite in spirit and in truth. And if ye are Abraham's seed, what does that mean? That's taken out of context, saying that Abraham had many sons, and everybody that comes from the line of Abraham is of the seed of God, or is according to the promise. But let's actually get what we need to read in Romans 9, 3 and verse 4. All right. So Romans 9, we're going to start at verse. As a matter of fact, let's start at verse. Let's see. Romans 9. Let me get there real quick. All right. So Romans 9. So we talked about neither Jew nor Greek, and verse 29 talked about the promise being Abraham's seed and being heirs. But I'm gonna read verse 3 and 4, and then I'm gonna reread 1 down to 4. All right. Verse 3 in Romans 9 and verse 3 says, "For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites." So we know Paul is speaking and his brothers are the Israelites. That's something that we know, right? But here's what we need to pay attention to, because it gives the pedigree of who his brothers are. And then after the semicolons, it lists everything that belong to the Israelites. So it says, "To whom pertaineth the adoption?" So everybody wasn't adopted in. The Israelites were adopted in. It says, "And the glory and the covenants." So all of the covenants that came from the Most High goes to the Israelites, Paul's brothers. "And the giving of the law." So anybody that is teaching needs to be an Israelite, a man from one of the 12 tribes, because it says, "Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises." That's to whom the promises pertain. So when you see in Galatians and it says Abraham's seed, let's go back to Galatians real quick and read that. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that on the screen for us. Give me 1 second. All right, bear with me. All right, so Galatians chapter 3 and verse 29. See if we can get that on King James Version online. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share this to the screen. So Galatians chapter 3 and verse 29. Let's not get confused what it actually means. Because when it says, "And if ye be Christ's, then are ye Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise." But who is that talking about? Who is that actually talking to? The promise was given to the Israelites according to Paul in Romans 9 and 4. All right. And if we go down to Romans 9 and 7, let me go ahead and show that. Romans 9 and verse 7. And I'm going to read Galatians 3 and 29 one more time to go ahead and compare and contrast so we can see what a precept actually is between these two verses. The book of Galatians chapter 3 and verse 29 says, "And if ye be Christ, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise." What does Romans 9 and 7 say? It says, "Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So just because you're Abraham's seed, that doesn't make you, like, if you're a physical son of Abraham or you come from the line of Abraham, you have to descend from Abraham, then Isaac, because it clearly says in Romans 9:7, and Isaac shall thy seed be called. Let's go to verse 8. That is, they which are the children of the flesh. So all the other sons of Abraham, all the other people who come to you with these, foul doctrines outside of the Bible and misread what Galatians is actually saying. Here's the answer. So I want to make sure y'all are writing these down so you can have an answer when somebody, unlearned comes up to you and starts trying to give you a Bible lesson. Romans 9:8 says, that is they which are the children of the flesh, talking about the other sons of Abraham. These are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. All right, let me go to verse 9. For this was the word of the promise at this time. Well, let me just go to the whole chapter so we can, you know what? I'll just keep it here. And Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children not being, okay, so we'll stop there. All right. So let me just see. Exodus chapter 3 and verse 6. Bear with me for 1 second. All right, so we're going to move on to Exodus 3 and verse 6. And let me get there. You scan back up to the the Old Testament. All right. So this is another verse showing you who is the seed or who are the children, because in Exodus 3 and 6, the Lord is talking to Moses. And this is what he says. And I'm going to go ahead and share it with to the screen. In the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 6, it says, moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. That's the line that you have to descend from to be a child of God, because the other children, the children of the flesh, are not the children of God. These are the type of truths that the ISUBK has been bringing out since 1969. And it becomes simple to break down once you've gone over those verses enough time. But a lot of Christians would have trouble with this, because no matter what you tell them, they have it in their mind, the doctrine, and they try to pound your brain with it as if that's not something you have believed in the past, as if you didn't leave that life, become free, and realize that you no longer had to be a victim to this world, white supremacy, and any other foul doctrine that came from the Christian church. All right. Let me head back to my the other part. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I believe there's something I might want to play. 1 second. Salakia. I got a lot of noise in the background. Hopefully my noise cancellation is handling that. Give me 1 second. All right. So we back. All right. So let me get to it. All right. One of the things I want to bring up, and let me see if I can find it in real time. I meant to look it up, but it has slipped my mind. I know a lot of brothers is going to be talking about this. It's the Southern Poverty Law Center. All right. The Southern Poverty Law Center is an American 501 nonprofit legal advocacy or organization specializing in civil rights and public interest. At least that's what they say. But what has been done with the Southern Poverty Law Center is they've been given the right or the task to deem who is a hate group and who's not a hate group. So, of course, the KKK and other, you know, groups were on that list. But I believe ISUPK is on that list. And let me see. Let me see if I can actually find it because I have a point that I want to make with this. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and share this to the screen real quick. Let me share this tab instead. Let me see if I can actually read what they had to say about us. It's funny because we got, you know, us on the screen and they're calling us a hate group. And this is the Southern Poverty Law Center. So let me go ahead and read through it. All right. So if you see under radical Hebrew Israelites, so they put the term radical to make us seem, you know, radical in this time day and age you associate with crazy, something out of the norm. So they said radical Hebrew Israelite, and the SPLC designate that is a, or excuse me, and they're a designated hate group is what they're saying about us, right? It says related general hate, and it says across the United States. Let's see if they have anything about us. It says since the late 1960s, the radical Hebrew Israelite ideology splintered to form increasingly anti-Semitic, anti-white, anti-LGBTQ, xenophobic, and misogynistic sect of groups who preach they are only they, they and only they are the true Israelites of the Bible and perpetrate the anti-Semitic belief that so-called Jews have stolen their identity. All right. So that's a partial truth. But if you're partially telling the truth, then you're partially lying. Number one, we're not a hate group. If you understand what we're doing for the black community, we are a love group. We are the people that are making sure that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans know the truth of who they are. We're making sure that we understand who Christ is in the Bible. We're making sure we understand the lies that have been told to us. And the people that actually wrote this most likely know that they have no ties to who the Israelites actually are. And let me look up something real quick before I get back into the scriptures. Let me see. All right. SPLC. Let me see. I'm trying to find exactly because I believe they're tied to something called the Jewish Defense League. Or no, they talked about the Jewish Defense League. Let me see. All right, I'm having trouble finding it. But I'll just say this. The Southern Poverty Law Center designated us as a hate group, even though we haven't physically done anything to anybody. But let's see what the Southern Poverty Law Center has going on with them. All right. Let me go ahead and share this. Because as a person with a sound mind, you start to wonder how can you actually designate somebody a hate group and you have hate going on within your actual group, or you have racism going on within your actual group. So let me go ahead and share this to the screen. All right. So this is actually on the Office of Public Affairs website. And this took place, I think, between 2014 and 2023. So over this course of time, they've been involved in a lot of different things. But let me see. One of them is wire fraud. That's not what I actually wanted. SPLC sued for racism. Good night. I can't get past one. Like the news that's going on now is outshadowing the past things that they've done. Good night. All right, so I'll just stick to the script so we don't go too far off. But it says a federal grand jury charges Southern Poverty Law Center for wire fraud, false statements, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. So let me go ahead and read what they actually did. All we need is a title. It says between 2014 and 2023, the SPLC secretly funneled more than $3 million in donated funds to individuals who were associated with various violent extremist groups, including the Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nations, and Nationalist Social Party of America. Since we all know who the Ku Klux Klan and the Aryan Nation is, let's look up this group right here. Give me 1 second. That was the National Socialist Party of America. Yeah, the National Socialist Party of America is a neo-Nazi or original the American Nazi Party. So the same people who listed us as a hate group gave over $3 million in donated funds to the Ku Klux Klan, a white hate group, which actually is tied to, unaliving black people, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Aryan Nation, the same, and National Socialist Party, but they designated us a hate group. So are they really there trying to stop racism in America? No. What they're doing is further an agenda to not only fill their pockets, but to also discredit us and make us look bad. Because if you come to learn from somebody, but then they have the title of a hate group in their name, as a black person that is in the world, you'll probably look at it as like, I don't think I want to mess with these guys because they got hate group. They've been designated a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. But the Southern Poverty Law Center is a hate group and was sued for racism. I really want to find that article. I'm gonna try one more time. Give me 1 second. And why I try to find that, let me play a video about what they actually had going on. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm gonna try to get a short video that way. Let me see. All right, this is on ABC News. Hopefully this is good. Hopefully this is a good one. And I'll try to find that article while this plays.
Find and hire high-quality freelance talent. It's free to post, and you don't pay till you hire. Upworks AI will search through candidates for you and help find the best match for your project. It's hiring, but easy.
Skip this.
Give it a try.
Get a match, get moving. Upwork.
And the Justice Department is bringing charges against one of the nation's most prominent civil rights organizations. The Trump administration claims the Southern Poverty Law Center has been defrauding donors and funding the very hate groups it claims to be fighting.
The SPLC is a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy and racial hatred. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred.
Now the group CEO is defending its past payments to confidential informants and calling the charges government weaponization.
There's no question that what we learned from informants saved lives. Today, the federal government has been weaponized to dismantle the rights of our nation's most vulnerable people.
ABC News legal contributor James Samples here for more on this. Hi, James. The Southern Poverty Law Center has positioned itself as the country's watchdog for hate groups. So what's your reaction to these charges?
Well, the charges, Diane, are to understand what is being charged. The government is alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center used paid informants to infiltrate groups like the KKK, Nazi organizations, and that those payments are fraudulent in the sense that they came from shell organizations. If you think about that argument, though, taken to its logical end, what the reason there are shell corporations that are set up to make these payments is that if the payments said Southern Poverty Law Center, the individual's anonymity would be compromised, their safety, maybe even their lives, would be at risk.
How strong is the Justice Department's case here, and what do they need to show in order to prove this in court?
In order to show fraud here, they need to show that there was a material misrepresentation that harmed a victim, i.e. that the donors to the Southern Poverty Law Center were, in essence, defrauded because the money that was donated to the organization was then used, in the government's terms, to support the organizations that are purported to be the targets of the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Do they have donors complaining?
They do not yet have donors complaining. And in fact, the organization has been hugely successful over the years in fighting these battles. You might say that the donors were getting exactly what they paid for. And if you think about an analogy here, when the FBI pays an informant to infiltrate the mob, they don't give them a paycheck that says, from the U.S. government.
All right. So let me go ahead and share this, because I guess they could possibly say that they were funding this, that, and the fourth, but the KKK and all those other neo-Nazi groups are alive and strong. What are you doing giving money to those groups and funding them? Because the funding is actually helping them do all sorts of things. It's not bringing those organizations down. So it's a little bit hard to believe that that's what's actually happening. But let me go ahead and play this for y'all. See if I can get rid of this ad. Good night. The ads. I'll mute that while that's playing, and I'll go ahead and read the actual. So this article is about the SPLC, and it says famous civil rights group suffers from systemic culture of racism and sexism, staffers say. If you're supposed to be fighting racism, if you're supposed to be fighting for the rights of people, how do you have that in your organization? Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and unmute it now. They're giving the KKK money.
Own staff. The employees we spoke to would not go on camera out of fear of retaliation, but one told CNN the SPLC.
I'll rewind it.
Since its inception, the group has fought for equal rights against some of the more infamous hate groups of our generation, like the KKK. But two current employees told CNN the Southern Poverty Law Center fell short in guaranteeing equality for its own staff. The employees we spoke to would not go on camera out of fear of retaliation, but one told CNN the SPLC suffers from a systemic culture of racism and sexism within its workplace. A second employee agreed. It's an environment, one of the sources says, where Black employees are not being promoted despite being qualified. A workplace where a woman is made to feel she is not seen or heard, said one employee. My boss only hires white people. But now,
I'm sorry. How are we the hate group? How can this organization, where you have these type of complaints, designate us, the ISUPK that feeds the homeless? And when we feed the homeless, white people come up and we don't turn them away when we're at those when we got boots on the ground in these streets in Kensington and Allegheny. They get to eat. They get the eat too. They can't even be treated equally at a job that's supposed to be fighting for equality and fighting to root out these hate groups. They're giving the hate groups money. The $3 million could have went to a just cause, like hiring more black people. Let me go ahead and get that John 8:32 one more time. Because the truth shall set you free. Give me 1 second. This is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They go to work and they're not even free to feel like they have a place at a place that is supposed to fight for black people. They don't like these organizations that say they've been fighting for civil rights. They're really just doing that. But I bet you there is let's just look it up before I even say anything. Give me 1 second. And I'll go ahead and start the video over so we can hear it from the gate, and we'll go ahead and go from there.
Now, some employees say the group has to practice what they preach. It's bad, one employee. Since its inception, the group has fought for equal rights against some of the more infamous hate groups of our generation, like the KKK. But two current employees told CNN the Southern Poverty Law Center fell short in guaranteeing equality for its own staff. The employees we spoke to would not go on camera out of fear of retaliation, but one told CNN the SPLC suffers from a systemic culture of racism and sexism within its workplace. A second employee agreed. It's an environment, one of the sources says, where black employees are not being promoted despite being qualified. A workplace where a woman is made to feel she is not seen or heard. Said one employee, my boss only hires white people. But now some employees say the group has to practice what they preach. It's bad, one employee, speaking on condition of anonymity, said. The rank and file are deeply divided. The employee describes the current upheaval at the SPLC as a revolution against the organization's longtime leadership, initiated by employees, tired of seeing the pervasive culture exist and go unchallenged by those in charge. The SPLC declined CNN's request for an interview. They did not respond to the specific claims made by some of their employees to CNN, but they did send this response from his board of directors chair, Brian Fair. We acknowledge and take very seriously the significant concerns that our talented and deeply committed staff have raised.
At the Law Center, we see the solutions to these issues involving race and justice is not simple.
The claims come after the firing of co-founder Morris Dees on March 13th. The SPLC says the 82-year-old was terminated after two separate investigations into alleged misconduct. They would not be more specific, citing privacy of personnel matters.
Hi, Morris. My name is Nick Valencia.
Dees did not respond to multiple attempts to reach.
Let me take a quick moment to help us be free of what's going on here. When I look up the co-founders of the Southern Poverty Law Center, one that I found was Joseph Levin, who is a Jewish man. And for the life of me, I always wonder, like, why there's like when you see civil rights group, there's a lot of racism that happens in the United States against black people. But when it really ramps up, when they really start talking about it, is when they get to use the term anti-Semitic. They'll say racist and anti-Semitic viewpoints. The only thing that the Southern Poverty Law Center actually probably cares about is what's being said about the Jewish man. They don't care about black people because I don't hear any complaints from Jewish people coming from the Southern Poverty Law Center. The actual children of God, the blacks, are being discriminated against by the SPLC. But I don't hear any complaints from the Jewish man when it comes to this organization.
Him about his termination. An SPLC spokeswoman said in a statement regarding Dees' firing, no one, no matter that person's position at the SPLC, will be exempt from scrutiny and accountability. After Dees came the resignation of Richard Cohen, the longtime president of the organization. Cohen did not return calls. In a staff email, Cohen stepped down after 16 years at the helm. We've heard from our staff that we need to do a better job of making sure that our workplace embodies the values we espouse: truth, justice, equity, and inclusion, he wrote. While some of our sources have been critical of the culture at the SPLC, they acknowledge that the organization has done important work in shedding light on extremism. CNN spoke to one woman who said, a lot of the claims were greatly exaggerated. I'm completely happy here. We have many women in leadership. But in recent days, the SPLC's female legal director also resigned. We reached her, but she would not comment.
Let me go ahead and look at this. He stopped sharing this. So, like I was saying, the Southern Poverty Law Center is being ran by liars, racists, and people that would treat, women bad. But here in the ISUPK, we treat our women with love. We tell them the truth. We treat our brothers with love. We tell them the truth. But in this place, they fund domestic terrorism. In this place, the SPLC, they fund black people not being promoted. They fund hypocrisy. And there's reports that allegedly the co-founder, Joe Levin, is a Zionist. And several of the SPLC's top management positions are Zionists as well. Well, aren't the Zionists one of the biggest hate groups in the world right now? Let's look at what they're doing to the poor little children over in Gaza. Let's look at it. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Because you're calling us a hate group as the SPLC. Let's see what the actual people who are involved with the SPLC are doing. Good night. Come on. Let me put this on the screen. Salakia, one moment. Let me go ahead and share this. The people that are calling us a hate group are tied to this. The people that have an issue with us saying that we are the children of Israel, they're tied to this. How can you call us a hate group when we do nothing of the sort? Let me go ahead and get a scripture. Bear with me for one moment. Let me go ahead and get Salakia. Bear with me for one moment. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and pull it up. I'll pull it up on the screen first. You know who's running the Southern Poverty Law Center? The Synagogue of Satan. That's who's running the Southern Poverty Law Center. And the Synagogue of Satan is lying on us and saying that we are a hate group. So the people in the world are less likely to listen to us. Let me go ahead and read this and share it with y'all. This is Revelations chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. The Lord sees us in here. The Lord sees us in ISUPK. He sees us being, downtrodden. He sees our people in the world and we're poor and we're in poverty. But thou art rich. Well, how are we rich but yet poor at the same time? Because we have a chance with the Most High. We have everything. What did it say in Romans chapter 9? Let me go ahead and get back to that, but I'm going to keep that on the screen. Give me 1 second. Let me get to that real quick for y'all. We're going back to Romans 9. And we'll start at verse 4. And this is Paul, and he's saying who his brothers are. He said, Romans 9 and 4 says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. That's why we're rich. And the glory, that is why we're rich. And the covenants, that is why we are rich. And the giving of the law and the service of God. And my favorite, the promises. But not the the people that run the Southern Poverty Law Center, not these, fake small hats. It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. This is what the synagogue of Satan would do. This is what they'll do. Is this what we doing? No. That's how the veil should start to be pulled off of everybody's eyes. The next time somebody tries to say that you're not a real Jew or you're not an Israelite, go ahead and bring this up. Ask them, are the Israelites, are the Jews the ones bombing the children in Gaza? Are they the ones that's doing that are mercilessly slaughtering these people? This is I don't want to get the channel clip, but this is the least of it. I'm gonna pull up one more. Let me pull up one more. So the SPLC is a hate group. They have ties to Zionism, but they call us a hate group. Good night. I'm not putting that on the screen. Salakia, give me 1 second. I got to find something a little bit. All right, I'll share this instead. Look at this. Look at this. Revelations 2:9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. We're not going to do this to people for no reason. They want, that's what the title of this class is called. It's called Blood for Oil. Because the people that lie on us send us over to get blood for oil. That's what happens. All right. Let me go ahead and get to the next verse, and we're about to wrap it up. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up something for y'all, so we can actually know the truth. Because there's something going on right now that I don't believe everybody knew about. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. I don't want to say it before I do it. Good night. Yep. It's right here. Give me 1 second. If y'all don't know what this is a I got to start it over because it's actually glitching. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is in Tel Aviv. This is over in Jerusalem, and this is a gay parade. What's John and 8:32 say? Let me let them talk real quick, and I'll get to it one more time.
This year, next year, it is the best. Come to Tel Aviv. Wow!
It's important to show our visibility and to make everyone know that it's normal, and to celebrate all the achievements that gays in Tel Aviv and in Israel achieved until now.
All right, I'm back with y'all trying to get the screen to catch up. So if y'all saw that, they are saying that they want to be more visible. Well, let me read something for y'all because that's coming out of Tel Aviv. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up on the screen. All right. Because John 8:32 says, and I'm gonna keep reading it. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. All right, so let's go to, I believe it's Isaiah 2 and 3, I believe. Give me 1 second. All right. So when the real Israelites are in their land, when the real Israelites are in power and ruling, this is something that's going to happen. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 3. And many shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. Remember we were talking about earlier who the children are? The seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, these are who the people are going to follow, the seed of them, us. And he will teach us of his ways. So all of the people of the world are going to have to learn from us. Because right now they're learning homosexuality in Jerusalem. Right now, in the holy city of the Lord or around that area, there's flaming parties happening. A wide range of a Diddy parade going on. And it says, and he will teach us his ways and will walk in his paths, or Salakia, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law. Is it a lawful thing to have a gay parade? No, let alone in Jerusalem. That's why the truth is an important thing. To know who the Jews are, the real Jews, is a very important thing. Because right now the law is not coming out of Zion. Abominations is coming out of that land. All right. And it says the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, because they're having gay parades in Jerusalem right now. All right. Give me 1 second. I believe I want to end with one verse. All right. This is Romans, and let me just get it on the screen and we'll go ahead and end it there. Give me 1 second. Get back to the New Testament. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to have young man Ace reading for me next time. That way I don't have to worry too much about flipping back and forth. All right, let me go to Romans chapter 3 and verse 1. This is the book of Romans chapter 3 and verse 1. What advantage, Salakia, what advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? What profit is there of following the law and following the Lord? What advantage is there to even know you're a Jew? Does it even matter? Because right now, the people that are saying that they're Jews and are the synagogue of Satan are having gay parades. So what advantage is it? You see this around my neck? This is a shield of David. They wear it over there, but the seal of Zion has been disgraced, and I'll get that too. Matter of fact, let me pull that up as well. Let me pull that up as well. All right. But what advantage is it? Because around the world, they believe that the Jew is the one that's bombing the children over at Gaza. They believe that the Jew are the people that's fighting with Iran, the people that are taking over America. But that's not the Jew doing that, because black man, you're the Jew. That's not what you're doing. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that up for y'all so y'all can have that as well. Let me see if I can actually find it. All right, that's actually in 2nd Esdras. Let me read that for you. Why is this such a trivial thing to have this on, because people call these shields, they call it something else. They call it the Star of David, the Star of Molech, when a star is a ball of gas. A star is somebody who's famous, somebody who draws attention to something. But let me go ahead and get this and give you a little bit of explaining. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 10 and verse 23. And which is the greatest of all, the seal of Sion hath now lost her honor. This lost its honor around the necks and in the ears of the people that are over there having gay parades. It says, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. Don't they hate us? Don't they show it by taking our identity? Let me go back to Romans 3:1. So what advantage then hath the Jew? We're back in Romans 3:1. Or what profit is there of the circumcision? Much every way chiefly. All right. Because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. All right. So remember, John 8 and 32. I know I've been drilling that in your head, because if you don't have the truth, you are not free. If you don't live by the laws of the Most High, you don't have a chance at Christ's redemption. All right. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the class. I'm going to play a video to go ahead and end us out. Shalom. I'll see y'all next time.
The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser focused.
America just put out a statement that if you're an American in the Middle East, you need to leave now, ASAP.
If this situation, Epic Fury, was many months in the planning, as Secretary Hegseth says, why no plan to get our people out of the region? As many as 1 million Americans living in the Middle East given no escape window. No.
I'm the girl that decided to spend her 30th birthday in Dubai. And I'm coming on here very humbly, asking my president to just seize it. I'm an American taxpaying citizen. And I've now been stuck over here since the 24th.
If you are calling about the crisis in the Middle East, please press 1. If not, press 2. Please do not rely on the U.S. government for assisted departure or evacuation at this time. There are currently no United States evacuation points.
They are toast, and they know it.